So now we're going to do a couple of tips on the awning and go over a few frequently asked questions in regards to this. So I'm going to get my winder out. So when we start, we want to wind it out around 500 mil. We don't want to overextend it too far and put a lot of pressure on these arms rolling it out. After that, we're going to remove our legs. I've got the step here to help. What we need to do is just pull it out one end at a time. There's a clip in here holding this side in. We've got that undone now. Move towards the other end. Just slowly guide out that out of the awning leg holder. Make sure it's completely out. If it's half in, you run the risk of damaging your awning leg holder up in the corner here. I'm completely out. I swing it down and I want to drop my leg down. Locking it into place, we'll move to the other end. Just same again, nice and easy, one end at a time. One end out, one end out, I'm completely out. And then we continue to wind out. If you're by yourself, you're just winding out until your legs get on a bit of an angle. So what I like to do is wind it out till I see the vinyl in the middle start to sag. Start winding back in, I can see it go tight, and I just let the arms of the awning just kick back in a little. That means it's nice and tensioned across the top. And then what we can do is make sure all our heights are positioned. Number one being the door, so we've got clearance in between. We've got fall. Do be aware, if it does rain, the best thing you can do is pack it in. If it's light rain, highly recommending dropping one corner. The last thing you need is water to pool up in the middle. Can end up buckling your legs, snapping the awning holder, the vinyl can drop on the door. These are not designed to withstand big rainstorms, so you do be mindful. If it looks like it's raining, you're either setting up the annex or you're winding the awning in. So we can readjust to our height. Now, often we do get a lot of questions of why isn't my awning winding back in? Well, there's a few things that can go wrong while you're out. You may have overextended your awning. So if you wind it out and it's still a little bit saggy over the weekend while you set up camping, if the wind does happen to move this along, it can coil up one end quicker than the other. So if it's winding in one end more, it's not going to allow this leg to retract properly, or vice versa at the other end. So what we always need to do is make sure the vinyl is central over the awning, the anti-flap brackets. So when we have that, it'll coil over itself nicely and roll back in. The other thing that people can do is you can actually wind this awning in backwards the wrong way. So you can overextend, and when it gets out on the drum, what it does is starts rolling back in over top of itself. You'll get all the way in, except for about 10 mil from the end, and then it'll become blocked because it's going over the drum and not under. So those are things to be mindful of. One, the wind moving the vinyl along, and then what you'll need to do is roll it out and readjust. We can have a quick look at how to do that. So what you'll see now is the vinyl's completely saggy, and we can actually see where it starts in the drum. So what we want to do is make sure it is nice and even between the two ends. At the moment we are, you could be a bit further up. If you do need to move it, two people's makes the job a lot easier, but if you are by yourself, you just need to pull it, slide it along a little bit. All right, until you're happy with it. If you do have someone else there, it is always good if they can just hold a bit of the tension for when you're winding in. Otherwise, you can also see what I mean by if you kept going, it's going to roll back in over top of the drum. So we want to be going under We want it nice and even between the two anti-flat brackets, and then we can continue to wind in. Alright, so when we pack the legs away, what we want to do is lift it up. We don't have to bend down to lift anything. Lifting it up via the cam lock. Lock it into position. Swivel it up on the side. Same again, making sure we're clear from touching the bottom. Make sure this foot is facing the front of the awning. We don't want it backwards, forwards. Same again, one end at a time. Lock it in, hold it in position. Go directly behind this, okay, where the awning leg goes in. Don't come from here, or else it'll squash out to the side and it's only going to start damaging that awning leg holder. Directly behind. Pushing it in, all locked into place. Same at the other end. Once you're all set up with your awning, do make sure you pack your awning winder away so it's not sitting there in the day, smacking into the side of your van. We'll just put that back away in the pole box.